G'day, welcome back. Today I was planning on talking about education and how it's a political football that gets used commonly uh, for parties to palm off the blame. The buck always seems to stop with the last guy in office. Um, and unlike defense spending or health, which are kind of murky to the outsider, we've all got experience with the education system. But the thing that came to me like a lightning bolt about a week ago, I've been meaning to make this video for a while, is that you couldn't ask for a better data set than education. We have the syllabus for every year. We have the results for every year. We know the teaching standards for every year. We know the school rules and how they were applied for every year. This is a fantastically deep data set, and it would be really as simple as an emergency stopgap to stop things like literacy and numeracy sliding the way they have, to simply go back to a year where Australia was a world leader in education and re-adopt that syllabus, just until we figure out how to catch back up to where we should be after all these years of fucking around. And the obvious thing is the phonetics thing. Now, when I was in school, I was taught phonetics, but my younger brother was taught this trendy method that came through where they were trying to recognize whole words. It was a failure, and they mothballed it. But sure enough, 5 to 10 years later, they brought it out again, and they're bringing the same method back now. They know it doesn't work. They're trying to create illiteracy and innumeracy to expand the bureaucracy, because that's how socialism really works. Okay, but there's so much going on in the world that I don't even have time to get into that. Not that I had a lot of facts and figures to back it up, but I don't need them. They're there. This is an idea. I don't have to bring you a paper. You can simply go back to when Australia was a world leader in education and re-adopt that syllabus until we figure out why the fuck our kids are falling behind. That's enough for that for now. Because the big thing that has popped up through my researches over the last 2 weeks, and they've been quite extensive. I've had a bit extra time on my hands of late, and I've put it to good use. If you're not up on the war, please watch the Duran. Watch anything that Scott Ritter or Douglas McGregor put out. And the Grey Zone are also fantastic. And if you haven't seen Max Blumenthal dressing down the UN Security Council, my God, go and have a look at that. There have been all kinds of whistleblowers across all sectors. It's all coming down. And as I've stated before, the point is not just to destroy faith in the dollars, it's also to destroy faith in the governments. What they're doing to the economy, they're also doing to democracy. You know, democracy has to go, because as the man said, my rights are not up for discussion, let alone a vote, right? Democracy has become a tool for the wicked, really. We don't have enough sense of civic responsibility to be trusted with democracy. We're misinformed, we're emotional decision makers, and we forgot that rights are not up for a debate, let alone a vote. So, okay, but we don't want to go back to the world of the 1700s, because what we're really looking at here is when the global governments collapse, is that the corporations will take over. And they've done it in the past. If anybody knows much about history who watches this channel, I'm sure you all do. Remember the Hudson Bay Company, the Dutch East India Company. All this defund the police. Remember, the police were not invented whole cloth by Thomas Peel. They were borrowed. They were already private detective agencies for the wealthy, the industrialists to employ for espionage, debt settlement, that sort of thing. Groups like the Pinkertons. Well, they're still around. Do you think people like Rockefeller and Rothschild go to the cops when they have a problem? No. No, they go to the Pinkertons or somebody like that. And, Prigozhin's been in the news a lot. Back when it was the Republicans in power, people used to worry that groups like Blackwater would pull some shit like Prigozhin pretended to pull. And that we are creating private militaries that are attached. We also have allowed corporations that are more powerful than governments. You do the math. It won't be long before that becomes a problem we have to deal with. And again, though, that's not what I came to talk to you about today. What I came to you to talk about today is something that I've only briefly had sail over, and I haven't had time to dig. But if you have time, you should dig, because whilst everybody who's concerned about the things we're concerned about is worried about the pandemic treaty and the attack on national sovereignty that allows for, Australia, and I presume, well, in the AUKUS deal, we're definitely the bitch boy again, just like when we went into Iraq. Of the three nations in the AUKUS treaty, we're the weakest. And the thing is, this submarine deal, in the provisions, we're tied into this treaty. If America decides that Australia's mineral resources are necessary for America's war effort, they can come and take them under this AUKUS treaty. It's not just about fucking submarines. We're another American colony now. And people would be outraged if they understood the implications. But then again, you know, most people have no idea what the fuck's going on at the moment. I'm constantly astounded by how the general public have gotten to be about 2 years behind. These motherfuckers are still lining up for boosters. It's all come out. How they could remain ignorant at this point is beyond me. It takes willful ignorance at this point to miss what's going on. And I've seen it, you know, I've talked to people, you know, Assange is a great one. People who should be supporters of Assange, who had their political awakening in the anti-Iraq war movement, who are now pro-Ukraine and not worried about any of the shit that's going down. What can you do? Stay strong, folks. Peace, love, and kung fu. That guy out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.